Going back to the game that was once a PlayStation exclusive which received mediocre reviews upon release due to a number of bugs, unsteady frame rates, and an incomplete package. A bit over 2 years of patches, updates, and a PC version release, is it any better? What's up everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Omar with Real Gamer Review, and today we are reviewing Days Gone a bit over 2 years after its initial release. If you are watching my channel for the first time, a like and a subscribe would be hugely appreciated. Days Gone is a 2019 action-adventure video game developed by Bend Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic Oregon 2 years after the start of a pandemic. Days Gone is played from a third-person perspective where you can explore an open-world environment. You can use firearms, melee weapons, and improvised weapons. You can use stealth as well against hostile humans and the main cannibalistic creatures known as Freakers, which are technically a bit advanced zombies, but they like to call them Freakers. A major game mechanic is your motorcycle, which is used as the player's main means of transportation and some sort of a mobile inventory. The player controls the main character Deacon St. John, an outlaw turned drifter bounty hunter who prefers life on the road to wilderness encampments. The game takes place 2 years after a pandemic killed almost all of humanity and transformed millions of others into Freakers, which are mindless zombie-like creatures. You also have the Swarmers, a nocturnal type of Freakers who hides in their nests during daytime but often congregate, wander around, and search for food and water at night. Other enemies include newts, who are infected adolescents, and opportunistic hunters who only attack you when you enter their territory or have poor health. The game also includes infected wildlife and hostile human enemies. You can be overwhelmed by hordes, and you must keep your distance as those hordes are crazy big. You will be able to use firearms, melee weapons, traps, explosives, and choke points to kill Freakers and hostile enemies. As I mentioned before, the game is set in an open world environment. You can freely explore the world on foot or using your motorcycle. But be aware as the bike consumes fuel and becomes disabled if excessively damaged. You must refuel the bike every once in a while at gas stations and camps around the map and repair it using collected scraps or in camps as well. Throughout the game you must establish trust with settlement camps to earn camp credits by completing various main and side missions, and also by selling bounties and food to the camps. If you rescue random civilians in distress around the map, you will have the choice of directing them to any of the camps, which will earn you credit with that particular camp as well. As the level of trust increases, you will be able to purchase new weapons, supplies, and upgraded motorcycle parts that can be used to enhance its speed, durability, and maneuverability. The bike's appearance and color can also be customized. Weapons as well can be slightly customized and upgraded, and while progressing and increasing your level of trust with the camps, you get to unlock better weapons throughout the game. You'll have access to a wide variety of firearms such as pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles, submachine guns, and crossbows. Different weapons have different statistics, and higher tier weapons are generally more powerful. Purchased weapons can be stored in a gun locker, though weapons that are picked up in the field cannot be put into storage. You can also use explosives such as proximity mines and grenades, and may craft Molotov cocktails to defeat enemies. Melee weapons can be used, but they will break if not repaired regularly using scraps. As you explore the world, you will collect valuable resources and components for crafting weapons and supplies. In addition to the main missions, there are a number of side objectives which include clearing Freaker nests, rescuing hostages, clearing enemy camps, capturing bounty targets. Inside Nero checkpoints, player can use Nero injectors to boost Deacon's health and stamina. It is mainly used when Deacon is sprinting or dodging. You can use it as well for focus, which allows Deacon to temporarily slow down time while aiming his ranged weapons. And to quickly explain, Nero are the government section in the game responsible for fighting and researching for a cure for the pandemic. The one in the game. You know what I mean. Also worth noting that fast travel consumes fuel and causes time in the game to pass. Before you can fast travel, you must destroy all Freaker nests between the two fast travel points. As you complete missions and objectives, you will gain experience points as well, With sufficient experience points, you'll be able to level up and unlock new abilities, allowing you to increase the efficiency of Deacon's melee weapons and ranged weapons, and to enhance his survival skills. You can go around completing missions and objectives in multiple ways, such as by using stealth tactics to distract enemies or silently kill them from behind using a combat knife or noise suppressors, which can be attached to various firearms to prevent attracting nearby enemies. Deacon also has survival vision, which once activated highlights items of interest and the location of nearby enemies. You can also use binoculars to locate and mark enemies. So for the overall gameplay experience, I would say it is pretty good despite the somewhat boring missions that you will encounter throughout your gameplay and some weird AI for some of the NPCs.
Someone needs help.
I need help! Please! Please! Please, oh God! Oh God! I don't want to die here, please! Please help me! Oh, sweet Jesus, help me! Help me! Please!
But still, it is a pretty fun game to play. As for the story, I won't spoil any of its details, but I would say that the overall story itself is not that bad. Not the greatest out there, especially between Sony's PlayStation exclusives, but still I would say it is decent to play through. There is another part of the game which is pretty fun under the name of challenges, which contain a bunch of different fun challenges, like surviving waves of hordes as long as possible, surviving waves of human enemies, bike races against the time, and the most fun of them all, picking up and dropping survivors in a golf cart. There are a few more challenges other than the ones that I've mentioned, but overall these challenges are pretty fun to play and a good addition to the game. As seen throughout this video and probably online in other videos, the game looks visually amazing. All the footage taken for this video is captured on PC. The overall environment, character models, face animation, foliage, everything looks pretty good. Basically, for the best visual experience, I would definitely recommend playing the game on PC, but still, the game looks pretty good on consoles, especially on PS5, as the game got a free update which included a 60 frames per second frame rate with a dynamic 4K resolution. On PS4 Pro, the game runs as well a dynamic 4K resolution, but capped at 30 frames per second. As for the base PS4, the game runs at 1080p with 30 frames per second as well. But really, no matter what console you are playing the game on, you will get a pretty good visual experience. As for the music and audio part, I would say that this one is one of the weak points of the game, as the music tracks are not that great. As for the gameplay audio, I would say it is pretty good overall. As always, I'll leave you now with a few clips so you can judge the audio yourselves.
Runners, damn it! Come on. One down. How many of you are left, huh? I got him!
Despite the issues that this game had on release and the mixed reviews, eventually the developers managed to deliver a pretty good overall experience with this game after some patching and fixing. I wasn't a huge fan of the game when it was first released, but after playing it recently, I realized that the developers managed to balance between the good gameplay, visuals, and overall good story. I would recommend that you give this game a try if you haven't, or revisit it again if you had it since the release and stopped playing it. Alright, time to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video or you learned something, then leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.